Namanda, 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 Namanda. Good morning. Ohayou gozaimasu. Nice to have Sunday service together. So appreciate everyone being here. Let's see. Okay. So we'll go over the service order for today. We're going to have the sutra chanting Shoshinge with the Junirai rhythm. We need to be practicing this for our 850th, 800 special service that will be in Palo Alto. And I'll mention this during our announcements as well. So Shoshinge, page 33, and the Junirai rhythm. It's very simple, easy to catch on, okay? Arigato, Japanese and English verses, and the reading of the three treasures. And I'll have my Dharma message. The final gatha will be We Are One. And yeah, I like that one. And then we'll have our acknowledgments and announcements, okay? So with that, we can begin sutra chanting Sambujo Shoshinge. Namanda, 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 namanda.
無量寿如来、南無不可思議故、大蔵菩薩院に寺、在世自在を仏性、刀剣小仏浄土院、国土人伝自然幕、建立無常修正願、超仏系右大偶勢、五行四唯四小十、十世妙正門実法、不法無量無変更、無限無体公園の少女歓喜知恵子、無難難事無所故、超日学校精進説、一切群上無故障、本願名号少女語、死心信行願理因、上等学章大涅槃、一心滅道願成就、如来所依法出世、唯世言、納発一年期愛心、不断門の特涅槃、凡上逆法再縁流、領収支入会一味、摂取信仰上昇後、意の随波無明暗、頓内心臓死運無、上不真実真人天、非量日光不運無、運無資源妙無暗、逆心見教大教義、即応超絶合悪種、一切善悪凡夫人、問心如来偶勢願、仏言高来小月者、善人妙分大理系、弥陀仏本願念仏、邪見教満楽修上、信行十字人に難中死難無可し、インド祭天子論下、中華知識史構想、現代小公世小意、妙如来四世要記、釈迦如来両臥線、一種五妙難天竺、龍樹大事出頭世、質の在派無無形、賢治難行六六、信行異行四道楽、億年弥陀仏本願、次年即時入筆上、 結の上昇如来語、お法大偶然四、天神菩薩論論説、奇妙無下公如来、越衆たら見真実、光線の超大誓願、こういう本願力栄光、移動群上昇維新、気入六大崩壊、必逆入大永修修、特使蓮華造世界、即昇信用精進、有本の人間人図、入所自音自用下、音痴論難量天使、上皇乱唱菩薩来、三蔵ルシ十上教、凡上宣教気楽法、天神菩薩論中下、王道因果見誓願、おげんねこゆたり、少女死因唯信心、惑前本部信心没、生死生死即涅槃、一心無量光明道、小修上回復形、良作絶唱道難唱、唯名浄土活入、万全自力縁言宗、円満特語感染症、三風三神慶音言、増末法滅道因、一生増悪知偶然、知安如外称名化、全道独名仏性意、公愛上三両逆悪、公明名語見人年、介入本願大智慧、行者小中今後心、狂気一年相互、用意大と逆三人、即小発祥四上ら、現信公開一大教、延期安養官一切、先祖修心安全人、法華二道小弁流、極重悪人唯小仏、が薬剤摂取中、煩悩証言水不見、大悲無見上昇が、本資源空妙仏教、連民全幕本部人、新宗教書後編中、戦弱本願具悪性、現代生じ輪蓮華、決知義上位人の入、仏教大智修士と、調裁無変、極上苦波、道 自粛同心こゆか信じこそせ
I messed that up. I missed that last line. Let me look at this again. I have to fix myself. You don't have to do it, but I need to do this. So, 12代 is 小逆前後少女者 So, how does that translate? 大王 Wait a minute. Is that right? It's double lines, right? Sanzu no Hokuon Iraku no. Is that right? Daiogu Daiogu Ogi Imyo Seyo. It's hard to look back and forth, huh? It is difficult. I better practice that a little bit more. Okay. That's the whole part that makes it fun, because that's the hard part. The rest is easy, right? Yeah. Okay. Gomen nasai. Okay, now we will have our first kata in the white book. Arigato, page 36, Japanese and English. Arigato. Okay, I like that. Please join me for the three treasures on page 8 in the other book, purple book, page 8. Hard is it to be born into human life. Now we are living it. Difficult is it to hear the teachings of the Blessed One. Now we hear it. If we do not realize the truth in this life, when will it be realized? Let us reverently take refuge in the three treasures of the truth. I take refuge in the Buddha. May we absorb ourselves in the principle of the way to enlightenment and awaken in ourselves the supreme will. I take refuge in the Dharma. May we be submerged in the depths of the doctrine and gain wisdom as deep as the ocean. I take refuge in the Sangha. May we live in harmony in the great assembly as disciples of Buddha and be free from all hindrances, becoming units of true accord in the life of harmony, in a spirit of universal oneness, freed from the bondage of selfishness. Even through myriad ages of kalpas, hard is it to hear such an excellent, profound, and wonderful doctrine. Now we are able to hear and receive it. Let us thoroughly understand the true meaning of Tathagata's teachings. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda, Namanda, Namanda. Please be seated. Okay, so I have a title now on this Dharma message called Yes and No, It Depends. So please join me in Gassho. You just heard this. May we live in harmony in the great assembly as disciples of Buddha and be freed from all hindrances, becoming units of true accord in the life of harmony, in a spirit of universal oneness, freed from the bondage of selfishness. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda, Namanda. So it's nice when we are able to read it together and you follow along really nicely. In my perspective on these phrases, freed from all hindrances. So hindrances are all our attachments, right? So freed from our attachments, and they might be to our identity, who we think we are. They might be our attachments to all kinds of things, from food, things like our attachments to our homes, our cars, our possessions. They might be our addictions that we might have, whether we have drug addictions or alcohol addictions or this and that, or our image. You know, we have a certain image of ourselves, and every morning we wake up and we go to the bathroom mirror and, oh, I didn't know. I felt younger until I stepped in front of this mirror. And so we start to notice this drooping, sagging, or wrinkles and more than we had before, and feel like, gee, I guess I am getting older, right? But when you wake up, when you don't think about it, you don't have that image in front of you, you feel like 20, even 30 years ago, right? Not too much difference. We have this image of ourselves. So these are our hindrances that we kind of cling to and attach to. So to be free of these kind of hindrances and to be units of true accord, this reminds me of coming to an awareness of these truths of change and impermanence. You know, we talk about this all the time in looking at our Buddhist teachings, and you know, it's a teaching of change and impermanence, and we think about these things. But to live in awareness of these changes, this impermanence, this puts us in accord with the changes that are going on. Right? A life of harmony. So to be aware of these truths, and then we're able to flow with the changes, and rather than getting stuck at every turn. Oh no, right? Just the other day, a Saturday ago, yeah, I parked by the beach early in the morning and not too much traffic and nothing happens right on that shoreline, I guess, right by the beach. And when I got back to the car, my driver's side mirror was smashed, and I'm not sure how it happened. It was all the way out across the sidewalk into the bushes, and certainly there's damage and picking up pieces of the mirror, and this is impermanence and change in action, right? So I was so disappointed to see that. How could that happen? And then later on, I see there's some scrapes, so maybe somebody just got too close, instead of a baseball bat or something. Maybe it was a car that just swerved a little bit inwards, but certainly disappointing and unexpected, and not that it's okay to become accustomed to impermanence and change. This pissed me off, right? But gee, such things happen, right? The vacuum cleaner breaks down, light bulbs go out, all of these things. And we expect it, and we don't get so stuck there when something happens. So, spirit of universal oneness, and I think this is a result of knowing our connection to this flow of impermanence, right? We're not just the rock stuck in the river. We're part of this water flowing along, and free from the bondage of selfishness. This is a result, again, to live of this life beyond self. Our identity is shifted from this individual self-centered being to a new identity. This identity with this flow of things. Identity with this oneness. Individual and the infinite are one. Okay? So these are thoughts that I had as I read this, and I was thinking about Reverend Ito in Los Angeles. Reverend Nodi Ito is part of the Higashi tradition, and so we have karmic connections beyond my life or his life. So it's always nice to see him and think. And I think it was maybe a retreat setting or something that memory of him comes to mind. And one of the younger ones, that might be college age, high school age group, and someone was asking him questions, and I don't know, for 20 minutes, and they would ask him something, I don't know specifically what, but he would say, well, yes and no. It depends. And during this 20 minutes, maybe 5, 6 different questions, he would answer with that. Oh, yes and no. He would pause and slowly, so deliberately, pondering the question. Finally, it would come out. Right? Oh, yes and no. It depends. And then he would go on to how he sees this side, then he sees this side. And so, we can't just conclude so quickly, but the way he held their rush to want to know was beautiful. And so when I think of that, there's another Dharma story that I really enjoy. I enjoy sharing it. I enjoy when another sensei shares it. I enjoy reading it. So, yeah, this Dharma message. So let me share this today. It's a story of an old farmer. So let's do the once upon a time. Once upon a time, there's this very old farmer in the village, and he worked for many years tending his field and his crops year after year, and he had a horse to help him to plow these fields. And one day his horse ran off, so he didn't have a horse. And so all the neighbors heard about this. It's, oh no, he lost his horse. The old farmer lost his horse. Let's go over there. So I feel bad for him. How's he going to do all his work? So they felt bad for their friend and neighbor. So, gee, we're so sorry you lost your horse. It's such bad luck that you came to. And the farmer says, well, maybe it depends. So kind of like notice, yes and no, it depends. Well, maybe, it depends. Okay. So then the next day, his horse came back. And not only did his horse come back, it came bringing 3 wild horses with him. So now, all of a sudden, not only does he have his horse back, he has 4 horses, a herd of horses that he could tend to. And so he put them on a pen on his farm. And so all of a sudden, he has, it's like bounty, right? All these horses. And so how fortunate. So all the villagers said, look at that, he has 4 horses now. So they ran over there to congratulate him. Well, this is great news. How lucky you are. Right? And the farmer looked at him, well, maybe. It depends. Okay? So then, the following day, his son tried to ride one of the wild horses. So he jumped up on the wild horse and unexpectedly, he was thrown off. So he got bucked off the horse and he broke his leg. So they had to call the doctor. The doctor came and checked his leg and reset it so he would heal properly. And so, oh no. So the villagers learned about this. Oh no. So sorry to hear about your son got hurt. And so a bunch of them came. We were just here to congratulate you to have all these horses, but now you have this kind of bad luck happen to your son. How unlucky you are. So the farmer told him, well, maybe. It depends. So same response again. So then a couple of days later, the army recruiters came to the village to draft the young men of age into the army. And so a lot of the youth from the village were signed up to join the army. And his son had the broken leg, so he was not included in this group. And so then the neighbors came again to congratulate him. Oh, how lucky you are. Your son is not being forced into the army and you don't have to sacrifice losing your son. We thought it was bad that he broke his leg. But it turns out maybe your luck is good. Reminded me of Reverend Ito, not jumping to these conclusions so quickly. So, in the conclusion of this story, is that the farmer had come to know about change and impermanence that we learn about when we hear the Dharma, the teachings of the Dharma. So many causes and conditions, okay, combining, interacting, infinite in number, and they swirl and they change, and it depends on what happens, what might happen, what could happen, and we go through our life just like this. So many things, good and bad, all kinds of things, good and bad, are interconnected. So just a little bit of luck, good luck, bad luck, and the conditions might change just in an instant. I come back to my car, just like that, and the mirror is smashed. I have a big headache and a big bill as well to deal with, right? At the same time, this doesn't mean we can't be happy, right? It means that when we realize this truth and we live with this awareness of impermanence and change, then we see this greater picture, this whole flow, the entire river, and not just my twists and turns and my little dead ends and hardships and suffering, right? There's a bigger picture that the farmer was able to see, that Ito Sensei was able to see. Hopefully I'm able to see a little bit better, okay? You come to live in harmony with this change and impermanence, and we all do that. We all learn to live like that, and this is what attracts us to come here. We remind ourselves, we see each other living like this. We hear the teachings that remind us of this truth. And so this is what stabilizes our ups and downs, that we come to this groundedness of being here, listening to Dharma talks, chanting together, and we are able to settle to become part of the flow and not so self-absorbed, self-concerned. And so this makes, I think for us, the conclusion is not to try to come to the Pure Land or some sort of heaven where everything is finally nice and good, but to know that these ups and downs are part of the deal, right? We come to accept and become aware of these ups and downs of life, and we ride this flow. And this is what the Pure Land is. No, not to finally arrive at some kind of paradise, no, to know these truths and to live with them. Okay. Please join me in Gassho. May we live in harmony in the great assembly as disciples of Buddha and be freed from all hindrances, becoming units of true accord in the life of harmony, in the spirit of universal oneness, freed from the bondage of selfishness. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda. Okay, thank you. So now we have our second gatha, We Are One. The same white book on page 150. Please be seated. Thank you, Lenny. That's compassion. She slows down so we can find the words. Very nice. But we're getting better at it. We always forget to turn that there's a third page on. I do anyway. So, but I like that song. It's special, I think, for Sharman and myself. Donna Sasaki grew up as part of the Idaho Oregon Buddhist Temple, sister to our Bishop Harada. And so when they first started working on this book and these songs, so we were there as they were trying it and testing it, and first they got spread within the Northwest District, and so we've heard it for quite a few years. It's not so new to us. Okay, I don't don't see any newcomers here. So, who's been here more than 35 times? Who's been here? Announcements. Next Sunday, we have our BCA virtual Taikyo service. So we started this past week and we will conclude. We have major national meetings going on, and we're doing this on Zoom the past few years. And so it concludes with the Taikyo service. And so this is a virtual service, and all of our temples within the Buddhist churches of America are encouraged to connect to the link that will be provided, and none of the temples will have their own temple services. So there's no service here. Don't come and bang on the door, because I'm not answering. And so hopefully we'll be able to find each other on the Zoom screen, and it's kind of fun to see who's there, not only from Alameda, but our neighbors in Oakland and Berkeley in particular, Southern Alameda. We see some familiar faces on the screen, and that's always nice too. So that will be at 10 o'clock next Sunday, the BCA Taikyo service. Okay? And then coming up March 12th again is the 850th, 800 special service that many of us will be going to. And if you're not able to go, there will be a virtual link provided for that service as well, March 12th at 10 o'clock. And if we're going in person, Jane needs to know real quickly, so we have a head count for how many obento we need to order. And so this is a Bay District event, so each temple that goes, someone from their temple is in charge of their particular lunches, and they get passed out. So ours, we have our own roster and head count, and all that will be coordinated through Jane and through the temple. And so hopefully we'll have a number of people there. The Gagaku group that practices in Berkeley, they are preparing as well. So it's not too often we get to hear and as part of our services to be with the Gagaku group. They will be performing during the procession of the ministers. So the ministers from the district and Bishop Harada will come in a procession from their door and then into the Onaijin and take their seats. And during this time, the Gagaku group is performed a little bit more. We chant the Sambujo just like we do here, and our Dharma schools have been encouraged to make some keiha, that means these paper flower petals, right? And I was looking for other things just yesterday, and I said, hey, we have these. We have a box of these. So these, for Alameda, they were printed and provided for our centennial. It's September 2016, and so everyone here at our centennial services had these, and when you chant the Sambujo, when you come to the chorus line, officially you're supposed to drop them. The ministers have this metal plate, and as we're chanting the Sange Raku, these are dropped. Okay? But it's more fun to throw them. So this is what we're going to do. And so it's very, sometimes you can aim at people. But this is what will be happening. And some, you'll notice that some of them will be from our centennial, and other temples will be having some provided them, and from maybe made from the Dharma school. Maybe they find some in their closet as well. So it'll be nice to do this. The last couple of years during the Obon, I would bring fresh flower petals on, and we would pass them out. And during the Sambujo, we would drop those fresh flower petals, and you don't have to pick them up afterwards. Change in impermanence, they kind of dissolve as the next couple of days go, right? And so very pretty with this will be part of this 850th 800 service. And following that, after the service, we will divide into English-speaking, Japanese-speaking. Dharma School, Junior YBA are holding a meeting, but English and Japanese, 3 ministers on each, 3 Japanese-speaking, 3 English-speaking, kind of like our Tri-Temple Dharmanar, and we'll lead panel discussion, not too long, but with these groups and short presentation and question and answer and this and that. And then we'll break up and our obento lunches will be passed out and we can mingle with our own members or mingle with people we know from other temples. And so it'll be a very nice event and looking forward to that. Okay. So any other announcements for today?
Bento sale coming up. So if you haven't placed your order, place your order. And also, if you want to volunteer that day, let me know. Still looking for volunteers.
Okay, yeah, good reminder. So this is the day before the Palo Alto. So March 11th, Saturday, we're having our Obento chicken teriyaki, right? So we are one of the very well known for our delicious chicken teriyaki. So it'll be nice to have another Obento fundraiser. We're getting a lot of orders and people are looking forward to coming to pick up their Obentos here. So another event to look forward to. So for this service, I'd like to thank everyone who participated and helped to set up. We have fresh flowers and osonaya fruit offerings in Obukban. We thank Lenny for providing accompaniment to our gathas, and we thank the tech crew who are able to come in when needed to help us with the technology and the cameras and all that. And so hopefully that all went well. Thank you, the virtual people who are there from our temple and from Enmanji who are a part of this service. So yes.
Will you be providing the link for the service, or should we go to BCA website?
You can go to the BCA website, but I'm also going to send it out this week.
Okay.
At 10 o'clock.
So the question was about the link to the Eitaikyo service next Sunday, and that will be provided or has been provided by our respective temples, and so you will have that in hand. You can also go to the BCA website and locate the link. It will members to be able to connect to next week's service. Okay, thank you very much. Please join me in Gassho, and we'll conclude, and then I will relight the incense for Oshoku. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda, Namanda, Namanda.